Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Merry Little Batman. This is a new film in 2023 with a runtime of an hour and 32 minutes. This is an animated film from Warner Brothers Animation that recently dropped on streaming. As of the recording of this video, we have a Rotten Tomato score of 94% from the critics, 78% from the audience, and a Letterboxd average rating of 3.3%, I think, or 3.3 stars. I think that all kind of checks out with my assessment of the film. But before we get into that, let me give you a quick synopsis, talk about the people behind this film. This Christmas, Damien wants to be a superhero like his dad, the one and only Batman. When Damien is left at home alone, while Batman takes on Gotham's worst supervillains on Christmas Eve, he stumbles upon a villainous plot to steal Christmas and leaps at the chance to save the day. This is directed by Mike Roth, and it stars Luke Wilson as Bruce Wayne and Batman, Jonas Kibrab as Damian Wayne, Little Batman, James Cromwell as Alfred Pennyworth, David Hornsby as the Joker, Dolph Adomian as Mr. Freeze, Brian George as the Penguin, Therese McLaughlin as Poison Ivy, and Chris Sullivan as Bane. So I didn't even realize this movie had dropped. It dropped on December 8th. So if you haven't seen it, you can go check it out. I think this is a really fun Christmas animated film. It's definitely targeted to a younger audience. I think overall, like with the story and the animation and like all the style of it, I think it's definitely geared towards the younger DC fans. But that being said, I, being a Batman fan and a DC completionist, had to check it out, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It's 90 minutes of like it's not even 90 minutes, right? Credits and all that stuff. Like it's just a good time overall. Like I love that at the center of this film is really just like Batman trying to be a good dad to Damian, and Damian trying to be a good superhero like his dad. Like that's the crux of the film, and I love it. I love the relationship that it's explored here. I don't care about like continuity or like, oh, how is this adapted, or like what comic book is this from. Like it doesn't matter. um, my big qualm with the film, and I kind of got over it very quickly, the animation style. Like sometimes things that are animated, they're very stylized, and I don't always connect with the animation style. One of the things as much as I enjoy the Teen Titans Go stuff, I'm not a big fan of like all of the animation. Also with things like SpongeBob, where like some things are like interestingly drawn, but some things like they get kind of very like grotesque or weird, which is it's kind of a weird style. This has a little bit of that into it. I don't know exactly how to describe it. I would say some of the characters are just stylized very weird, like with weird body types. Alfred has a lot of like a wrinkly nose, and I know he's supposed to be an old man, but I don't know. It just felt like some of the choices for the characters designs were a little weird, but I got over that very quickly. I was on board with like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. But after that, I really got into the film. I love the story. It's kind of broken up into. It's almost like three different Christmas movies wrapped up into one. You very quickly find like you very quickly get endeared to Damien. I think uh, Jonas, who performed the voice, was really good at just capturing that childlike innocence that Damien isn't known to have. I think in this world, uh, Bruce wants to protect. Like Bruce has cleaned up crime in this world, right? So Damien never had to grow up like he's still the son of Batman, and probably the assumption is that trained by the League of Assassins. But he's only 8 years old in this, so like he's a capable child, but he's not as emotionally mature as Damien in the comics probably would be, which makes perfect sense. It's an 8-year-old child whose dad has been working really hard to give him a regular childhood, as opposed to what Bruce had to go through growing up without his parents and eventually becoming the Batman. Um, that's the heart of it. I think Luke Wilson just plays this in such an endearing manner as this overprotective dad. It's really, really fun. James Cromwell is just like as Alfred, just like the most caring person in the world that you could really portray, and I love that portrayal of Alfred. So it's really interesting. The villains in this are very well done as well. I don't want to spoil any big plot points or anything, but like I don't know how much there is to explain. This has a lot of tropes from like a lot of Christmas movies, like Home Alone and like I'll Be Home for Christmas and stuff like that, where like it's all the little things like like oh there's burglars now and they're trying to get into the mansion, or like oh Bruce is away and he has to get back home, and in the meanwhile Damien has to learn a lesson. So all the tropes are there for a classic holiday film, but it's all kind of wrapped up into this nice DC ball of universe stuff, which I quite enjoyed. Matter of fact, more movies could benefit from being holiday DC classics. um, but yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. I think this will become probably something that a lot of kids watch over the holidays. I wouldn't mind revisiting this next year as I get into the Christmas spirit. So very excited. I think the reaction online has been a little bit split. I don't know what, I really don't understand what some of these people want from a kids movie. That's a holiday adaptation. It's really just using the characters, right? It's just using the main overall structure of these DC characters. It's not supposed to be a faithful adaptation of anything. So but the animation is fantastic. There's some really fun action sequences. There's a lot of comedy here, but there's also a lot of heart, which is what really you want from a holiday film. So quite enjoy this. Highly recommend this. Throw this on while you're opening presents, or maybe do that, right as you're waiting for dinner, or as your cousins come into town, or whatever the case may be. Whatever you do for the holidays, find a group of people, throw this on, and just enjoy it, because I think you'll have a good time. So, if you've seen this film, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone.